Right here, I'm about to go through Sylvia's infamous Defender Sword event. I'm not actually going to show this in the playthrough, but be sure to watch the special video I make on that subject. Other than that, this turn really doesn't feature anything other than a mage attacking Holland. Because, of course, everyone attacks Holland. And now I just cut to when I've finished that event. The Defender Sword is really the only sword you'd really ever bother giving to Sylvia, because it does help her quite a bit by increasing her defense by 7. Something I like to do is combine it with a shield ring to give her an effective plus 12 to defense. You do that and she can actually handle being closer to the front lines. And Fury disappointingly gained only HP there. For some reason I just had a flashback to all these videos I've seen on YouTube of people getting amazingly lucky in the arena and then leveling up and getting only HP. At least that's better than having your arena streak ruined by a 1% critical, which I have seen happen. Anyway, just making sure to heal Holland. And at the moment we can't really do anything until Dew gets that bridge. But Mid-Owl's finally caught up with the rest of them, which is pretty good. And the reason I'm moving Tailchew and Azel backwards is because I want them to be right down the south end of the map for when we have to go there. I should mention though that all those armor knights on the other side of the river have javelins, so you can lure them over with ranged attackers. Like Levin or Holland with Thunder Sword if you're really desperate. Oh, so now she gets strength. That strength stat is well below her average for this level. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read the Fire Emblem averages page on her, and I think her average strength is actually, by level 30, is 27, which is the maximum possible for her class. For some reason, my Lachesis got well below that. Doesn't really matter so much, since the main reason I use Lachesis is not for any kind of power or anything, but for her versatility. Yeah, now of course make sure you equip the defense sword in order to get that bonus. There's no point in using any other sword on Sylvia. She's not going to be in combat. Well, she's not going to be caring about damage in combat. The defense sword basically means that on the odd occasion that you mess up and she does get into combat, she dies significantly less easily. Right, now, here we go. You have to move Dew right to this point here. And the bridge comes back. If you don't know how to do that, this part of the chapter will be extremely frustrating. Of course, I've got to make sure to actually protect you, though. Because he's very underleveled in my playthrough. Just checking who has the best defense. Yeah, gotta be careful with Sigurd with all those mages and armors who have a weapon triangle advantage over him, which is not good, since there's so many of them. Yeah, I think it's safe to use Levin as the tank here. Well, I mean, it's always safe to use him as a tank. Want Jamalka to get a bit more experience. Of course, there's still the problem that the only crossing point across the river is a one square bridge, which means it's kind of hard getting everyone into a position where as many characters can take advantage of this kind of situation. Now, I should also point out that it's very, very important somebody with the return staff is up here with your main party. It is so important, it's just insane. Because, in case you haven't quite figured it out yet, all the other castles are at the bottom half of the map, which means you're going to have to get back down there. Which is not fun unless you have a return or warp staff handy. I'm going to have both, so it's going to be a little bit less frustrating for me. Ah yes, and of course, armoured knights with javelins just love attacking Levin. And Levin just loves activating continue and annihilating them. Very similar thing, I think, happened in Chapter 3. Of course, they're going to try and go for your non-ranged characters across the river. But that's fine, the closer they are to us, the better. Because we'll be able to rush over the bridge and take them out in the next turn. If Levin doesn't wipe them all out now. Yeah, if Holland activates Luna on the Thunder Sword's ranged attack, it ignores the enemy's resistance, which isn't really much help against Armor Knights because they only have one resistance, so it'll just be doing 1 point more damage than it normally would. At least he's weakened them quite significantly. And again, Levin shows those mages just exactly how you use Elwind. And once again, Levin has served as the perfect tank. Now all these guys are exactly where we want them, and we can proceed to hopefully wipe them all out in 1 turn. Good thing Holland weakened that guy so that Jamako can finish him. Now if we're lucky, we might just be able to get Fury promoted here. She's a lot stronger once she promotes, and I mean a lot stronger. She gets a certain skill that really, really helps. Yeah, they're blocking Mid-Ale from getting some of them. Since he's my lowest level promoted character, I thought I'd give him a little bit of experience. The others are all around level 22 to 23. Now, I don't think I'm going to need Levin for this part. Right, now let's see what this hero bow can do. Finally, Midao has a 100% hit chance. The only way to guarantee he won't screw up and fail like he does very often. For some reason. I don't know, I'm just really, really unlucky with him, and he tends to miss with a lot of 80% chances. And of course, Iron Cutter is always helpful against these kind of enemies.